Let's be honest, parenting can be messy and hard, but also so rewarding. In this podcast, we'll share all the ups and downs of parenthood, as well as share some of our favorite tips and tricks for parenting using both our experiences and expertise from our professional lives as a speech and language pathologist and teacher, but also our everyday lives as moms, just trying to balance it all. We're so glad you could join us.
Hello and welcome to And Then We Had Kids. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Sheena.
We are excited to have you guys listening. We have had like a really good stretch of guests on our show or on our podcast. And if you haven't taken a listen yet, like we had Jasmine, who is a doula. We had Kimberly share her incredible experience about her son being diagnosed with autism. And then we just had Lucy from Skip and Scoot. So like, again, if none of those names are familiar, go to our previous episodes to take a listen. But this week, you guys just get the two of us.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! And we, right? I feel like it's been a hot minute. And we thought we would just kind of share like what's been going on with our lives, how have our kiddos been doing, how have we been doing, what's been going on, just like a little bit of a update and a check-in.
Yeah, like catching up. Just
Catching up.
Two mom friends chit-chatting.
Yeah. So I'll like kick us off, and then I think you can relate, and hopefully other people can relate too.
Perfect.
My daughter, I had signed her up. She has done gymnastics before, so I haven't signed her up for like a ton of activities. I just don't have like the bandwidth to like have every day something scheduled. So we started with gymnastics in the winter. She has enjoyed that thoroughly. I've added for the spring soccer.
Oh.
Along with gymnastics. Yes. Oh, it's right. and it's not like a soccer team. So it's not like practice during the week and then games on the weekend. It's this class where
what age does that start?
I think it could start like 4 or 5. I don't know. But anyway, so she's 3.5, going to be 4 in July. So she's close, but she's never done like a team event sort of.
Yeah.
So I thought like going straight to like the competitiveness, not her jam. So they have this class at our rec center where it's more like skill-based, like intro to soccer 101. And it's supposed to be outside, but obviously the weather the past few weeks have been so crummy.
Yeah.
That they have
Chicago weather is so temperamental.
So we've had 1 week outdoors, 1 week indoors. And this is the 3rd week this week.
Okay.
So first week
it's supposed to be wait, do you go during the week or on the weekends?
During the week.
Oh, it's not.
I know. Yes. Saturday looks
week.
Lovely. Yes,
right.
I know. Oh, yes. So the first week it was like most of the kids were just kind of like figuring stuff out. All of them just really learning to like be part of the group. And she did okay. Last week, she did pretty well. I will say she has like this soccer flop down where she'll like roll over the ball and like lie on the ground and wait for her coach to come over and like give her some praise. Like I think she's figured out how to get his attention and like then we'll get back up and then flop like 2 minutes later.
Yeah.
Today we are back inside and my daughter's also the one to show up with like, I got her nice shiny soccer shoes and she's in a dress. So like, that's my daughter's style.
Mm-hmm.
And
she definitely has her own style.
But I mean, truly, yes. And so we didn't make it in.
Oh,
this has been like, I would say like our training as like my life experience in a 45-minute span.
Oh no.
She did not want to go into the door. She was crying, screaming, and it's like a slightly enclosed entryway to the door of the gym. So like all the other parents are like pretty much watching how I'm handling my daughter go 1 step in and then 5 steps back out, screaming, crying, as if I'm like torturing her, making her go and be social.
Yeah.
And so I'm like asking other parents like, oh, what's your child's name? I'm like, go play with so-and-so, go play with so-and-so. Like, they're so excited. They're so nice. Look at how cute their shirt is. Look at how cool their shoes are. Not having it. I also have my 1.5-year-old with me while trying to coach her into the door.
Ugh.
And he is all about it. If he could have, he would be like, heck yeah, I'll take your place, sister. Like,
Yeah.
peace
Yep.
out. I'm in. So I'm also with one arm trying to like gently nudge her in the door while holding him with my other
back.
arm. And now he's screaming because he wants to go play. So I finally get him to like enjoy running down this little hallway for a hot minute. And then my daughter's like, I just want to be with you and brother. And I was like, heck no, girl. If you're not participating, you're not going to have more fun out here with me.
Yep.
But it was like, I just had flashbacks of being in like the therapeutic day school or like the mental health center I worked at, where I'm like, I could wait out a kid hours
until it's your own.
Until it's my own. And I swear my bandwidth was like 6 minutes.
Yep.
And I was
6
like,
minutes.
girl,
That's longer than I can last sometimes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And I said, I was like, if you're not going to do this, like, we're going to go home. And the moment that came out of my mouth, I'm like, we're absolutely not going home. We will be here for 45 minutes.
That's what she wants.
That's what
go
she wants.
Home
yeah.
and just
go
play
home,
with you and brother.
Relax, chill. Like, oh, it's all good. Oh yeah, best believe we stayed there for 45 minutes in the doorway.
Oh, in the doorway. She didn't make it in at all?
They didn't go in. So she like the doorway is like she's staring at the kids while playing, while they're all like playing. And mind you, this coach is incredible. I'll give him like tons of credit. He has like really great ways of teaching soccer. You know, he kind of pretends like the soccer ball's a dog and you go walking with your dog. Sometimes you're slow like a turtle, fast like a cheetah, still like a tree. He does an incredible job. And there's like 8 other kids in the class. So he did often like try and prompt her in the door. And at some point he's like, basically like, I tried, she's yours.
Yeah.
And so like one part of me was like, yeah, why am I doing this? Why am I forcing you? And then the other part of me was like, no, I paid for this.
You're going to stick it out.
You're going to stay here. And I was thinking about how your son, it took him a while to get used to swimming.
That's exactly what it was reminding me of. Yeah. Was the swimming lessons.
I was thinking, I knew I was like, oh, I'm going to talk about this because and it also feels so rough when like other parents are watching you. And again, I was just like sparked up conversation with a couple of them and they were all very nice. They're like, how old is she? You know, she's on the younger side of the class. It's 3 and 4-year-olds. It's like some of the kids are actually almost 5. And they're like, yeah, my 3-year-old, like she is tough. Or like, so no one would, it was my own like perception of the judgment.
Yeah.
And like I said, I could wait out kids forever. And I was like, this is awful.
Mm-hmm.
You're making my Tuesday really bad.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you go have fun?
Yeah. With the swimming, it was like, not only did I pay for it, but I was like, you know, we have a lake house in Wisconsin. You need to learn how to survive in the water. Right.
For sure.
And I will say, shout out to Coach Anna at Chicago Blue Dolphins because her personality is just so like bubbly and she's like not fazed at all by like my kids' tantrums, either of them. Cause she actually has both or had both because the older one just graduated to the next level.
Oh,
so he's very, very sad that he's no longer with Coach. I said, it's okay. We have a new coach now. It's just a different person.
Right.
But she seriously works magic with him in the pool. It was like night and day. We were at a different swim school before and it was the entire 30 minutes of screaming and crying and, you know, begging for mama.
Yes.
And he like actually looks forward to going now. The younger one has always been a fish and could live in the water, but the older one for sure, like actually enjoys going now. We do, you know, it's a block away. And so when we go on our neighborhood walks, he's like, do I have swimming today?
Yeah,
it's
he's
time
like,
to get ready for swimming.
By the pool over here. Let's go take a little dip. Yeah.
Right. Where's the shark? Because they had like a shark cut out in their lobby. And yeah,
I know. It got me. I like made me a little hopeful that things get better. And I was like, you don't have to like love soccer,
Right.
but this is silly. I can't deal with this
Well, and
every
like
week.
swimming felt like a nice like first activity because to me that's kind of like mandatory for our family.
Yeah.
But it also was it like allowed me to dabble in like what extracurriculars with my kids will be like, and how
Yes.
much I can tolerate it. So it was nice having Lucy on. I think we're gonna look at maybe some classes with Skip and Scoot. We've talked about doing like soccer or something,
Mm-hmm.
some other type of activity
Yeah.
maybe this summer when I have a little bit more bandwidth,
Yeah.
um,
Like I said,
terms
I
of my
definitely
own
don't
mental
think,
capacity.
yeah, I know, right? Like you want them to have fun and like this socialization piece is
Yeah.
great. And my daughter's very social. I just feel like I'm starting to see like a shift of like now when she came home, like told my husband about it, and he's like, "How was soccer?" I actually didn't tell him anything about it. And
Yeah.
she was like, "It was good, actually." And then she like backtracks and was reflecting on it. And she's like, "I was a little shy." And I was
Oh,
like, yeah. So she was able to say that. And I do feel like there's my next week's strategy is to like get there early. So she's like first,
yeah.
opposed to like, again, I have no proof that this is what it is. Um, but instead of like seeing all the kids going at once, like be there first and then she's already there. And then kids can join her versus like
Yeah.
her joining a group of 8 kids. But
Trying.
I was like, oh, like don't lose your little like social spark that you have, because she used to like go up to anybody and like introduce herself and ask kids their name. And I think it's like slowly starting, that social piece is kind of kicking in. And I was like, oh man, don't grow up.
Not like my little anxious one.
No, right? You're who like
The older
he's
one.
like, yeah,
Actually,
he's
the
just
younger
like,
one is too. Well, he's not anxious, he's just shy.
yeah.
The older one is anxious.
I feel like he's like a let me read the entire room and make sure I know what's happening around
Right.
me before I take a step in. But yeah, I haven't signed her up for like summer stuff, but I agree. Like I want her to do swim lessons. And the place that we did, I wouldn't call it like swim lessons last year in the summer. It was more like water, um, like getting you like
Just
water entrance.
comfortable. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
water
comfortable with
comfort.
the water.
Yeah. Um, that this time around, she wouldn't be able to be with me. Like it was like a parent child class that she did last year. And this
That's, I
one would
think, what part of the
be,
problem was. I think he like needed us in the pool with him to help him with that anxiety piece. And the
mhm,
first place we tried, he was quote unquote too old for that. Like, I think they
yeah.
stopped allowing the parents in once the kid turned 3. And we had meant to start the swim lessons earlier, but then, the pandemic
I
hit.
mean, right. Yeah. And then
So this place
of
allows it
course,
longer.
that's cool. That's nice. So you're like in the water with him still, or you
Yep.
were?
No, we still are. And now,
You get
and
to have a
before the
little
boys were in the
swim
same
time.
class, now they're in 2 different classes on 2 different days. So, the
Oh,
hubby and I kind of split up the week. Who's taking who?
who's going where? Who
Yeah.
gets to go take a little swim?
Hmm.
Oh, well, yeah. So I'm hopeful that next week will be better. And if not, is not.
Fingers
But
crossed.
then I was like, go, like do. I was like trying to do like cognitive behavioral therapy on her. I was like, go do some behavioral activation. Like go do something. Go do opposite action. Like TV. I'm like throwing her all these like things. I wasn't using those words,
Right.
but I was trying to like again rationalize with not a super rational thinker of like just go. You'll enjoy it. Trust me. And
We also do a lot of bribery in our household. I'm going to be very honest.
I did not do that, but I feel
If
like I
if
need that
you
in my back pocket.
yep, if you go, you get a Kinder egg.
Oh, I didn't even like think about that. I talked
Yeah.
about what we were doing after. I was like, then we're gonna go. So my sister just recently had her baby.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I didn't
Yeah,
know this. Well, I
yeah.
mean, obviously I knew she was due, but she had the baby.
We had her baby, and my daughter is obsessed.
Can I
Like
ask boy or girl? Because
a
they didn't
boy.
know, right?
They didn't know.
They
So
didn't know.
it's a boy.
Oh,
He's so cute. He's
congrats.
so tiny. And my daughter, since he's been born, it's been like 3 days. She's like, can we go see the baby? I want to hold the baby. When are we going to see the baby? And so I told her like after like first there's soccer, then we get to go see the baby. And I was like, I was hopeful. I like had her hooked for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then no,
No.
not so much. Then we did get to go see the baby. But yeah.
Chocolate always works in our house.
I feel like that's a good one, or like a donut.
Yep.
But I'm gonna use that. So we have several strategies. One, going early and trying to be the first ones.
2, bribe with chocolate.
2, bribe with food and a special treat for sure. So I have something new to try.
It's great until all of a sudden he'll be like, sometimes I like treats, sometimes I don't. Like,
I love that phrase of your son's where he's like a little stinker where you're like,
he is.
Come on.
Like you think you got him because it worked yesterday or it worked an hour ago.
No. Yeah. Oh, that's hysterical.
Sometimes I like treats, sometimes I don't.
Yeah. So that was my day today. It was that 45 minutes felt like 4 to 5 hours.
Ugh.
But yeah.
Yeah. The hubby is out of town for work. So luckily I have my mother-in-law here helping me wrangle the boys. But tonight was.
How long is he out of town for?
Just a few days. And actually then I'm out of town for a couple days next week for work. So we're taking our turns with business trips.
Nice.
But definitely helpful to have my mother-in-law here to help wrangle them. And she enjoys giving them bath time because that is not something I enjoy. Mostly because it's just like, that they never keep the water in the bathtub.
Yeah.
And it like drives me nuts, which I should know this, like walking into bath time with 2 toddlers, like the water will get everywhere.
Yes. This is true.
But
they need like a roll away mat, like floor, but then also for your walls.
Right.
Like I feel like that
because we're into like the bath bombs and we're into the bathtub paint and. Oh yeah.
Oh, you have fancy bath time.
We do. And then my sister got the boys some type of like bath soap that looks like kinetic sand. And bath time's a whole thing in this house. It just like that causes my anxiety to go through the roof.
Get you that
because it's karma.
She's taken note of all the things you've given her kids, her daughters. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
So yeah. So and then neither of them like putting on their pajamas afterwards. So you just have 2 naked boys running around the house.
And if only they could go to bed naked.
Right.
It would take that step right out. But you can't.
No.
Sorry.
And then the older one really likes to get himself dressed and everything ends up backwards. And it's just not a battle I'm going to pick.
No. The independent dressing / not
go for
so independent is really difficult.
Yeah.
So you just let him go to bed with backwards PJs?
Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were saying the battle was that.
Oh,
I don't know
no.
what battle was, but yes, I agree. I was like, oh, who cares about that?
Your clothes are on backwards?
Have at it.
Go for it. Your shoes are on the wrong feet? Go for it. At least you did it yourself.
Yeah. My daughter has at least like minimum 3 kinds of patterns on every day with her clothes.
She does.
Minimum. Like,
and
we're into like not matching socks. Or it has like, it's either like all different or a set. And it has to match.
Like so all yellow,
all pink, all polka dots, all cheetah. That was her outfit the other day. I have to send you a picture. I did take a picture of an all cheetah, head to toe cheetah print, which I approve. That's like,
I was going to say, that is like right up your alley.
I love a good animal print. So I
actually never wore animal prints until meeting you.
You're welcome.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely too much, which my daughter tended to do, tends to do a lot, but I also love it. So yeah, so it's either like mishmash or the same. She's not quite the like, when you see like the kids walking up to school and like so adorable, like clearly
So cute,
they
like well
accepted
put together. They've got like their
whatever outfit their
Carhartt like
parents picked
beanies
out.
on.
Yeah.
Nope.
Which I love. If I had a kid like that, that would be fantastic.
Oh my God. I wish my
I
kids were
don't.
like that.
Yeah. I just don't. And I, like you said, not the battle I'm going to be picking of outfit choices. So
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I feel like these 3.5-year-olds really got me going this week, or in the past few weeks, I should say. So I feel like we've talked about sleeping quite a bit. I am feeling so tired. I feel like this is a season with my 3.5-year-old where I am trying. It's an effort to like remember or find the good that has happened in the day.
Yeah.
She has been, I mean, again, like today was soccer. It was like, I kind of get it. But then it like carries through the days of like the whining is a lot. The demanding is a lot. And now she used to be, I would still say she's a relatively good sleeper, but as a baby, she was like a rock star.
She was. Yeah.
I mean, I was very lucky from the get-go. There's something about her being in the NICU that she could like sleep through anything. Nothing woke her. She slept like a rock, does not move. She's to this day still doesn't move in her bed. Like when she goes to sleep, like the same position is how she wakes up.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, she does not spin. She doesn't move.
Oh,
She
geez.
sleeps like a Chevy, like a rock. It's
Wow.
incredible. Yeah. However, in the past few weeks, she has discovered that she can open up the door to her room, which she hadn't been able to do just with our carpet and our door. I think I've shared this before. If I haven't shared on the podcast, I've definitely shared with you. So she's not only before, when she would get up, it would be like, Mommy, Daddy, or she'd just wait and like chat to herself and didn't like say anything. So
because you got to use a little bit of force on that door. Like you've got like higher carpeting and the bottom of the door hits right at that carpeting, right? So that
100.
Listeners can kind of envision this.
So she's now, and again, she's this little peanut.
She's a peanut. She's a feisty one though.
Yes, I love her. She's strong enough now to open up the door.
Oh.
And I would say 5 to 6 nights of the week, she's been getting up in the middle of the night and coming into our room. And she doesn't want to like get up and play. She just comes in and quietly says, it's usually to my husband, she will go, Daddy, I just want you in my room. And says it like really quietly, really sweetly. And bless my husband's heart, he often goes. He is the one to go. Yeah. I think just as I can't function, I can function way worse than he does. And so then he'll like go back into her room and she'll go back to sleep. And then she does get up around like between like 6 and 7, which is fine. I would accept that as like a wake up time if she wasn't getting up in the middle of the night.
Right.
But it's been impacting my sleep very much. And I can hear her door. Like when she opens it, you know, as like a mom, your sense of hearing everything is just like heightened to the nth degree. You know, like all the like phantom baby cries when you have your infant. And now I can like hear the door opening against the carpet. And I'm like, dang it. And then I'm just waiting for her to like make her way down the hallway.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do.
Okay, you're asking the wrong person. Please tell me you're not asking me for sleep advice. I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast. I know I for sure have shared this with you.
Yeah.
But I also do not, and my husband's the same way. Like neither of us function on little sleep. We are grumpy people. Oh yeah. I am not a nice person.
So mean to my daughter. And then do you get like the nice cycle of like, which I, again, never did with one of my students or patients, like raise my voice or like yelled in any kind of way. My poor daughter has had the brunt end of it because I'm like, you don't let me sleep, girl.
Yeah.
Like, how can I be nice to you when you take away my sleep?
Well, it's like, I'm just not nice to anyone. And so we've had a little penguin issue in our household.
Oh my God, please share this story because
I don't think I've shared this on the podcast. Right?
From an outsider. No, I don't think so. As an outsider, I find this very comical, but the impact is not so funny.
The impact is not. So my older son, obviously I've shared that he loves dinosaurs, but he also loves animals, right? So we live near Lincoln Park Zoo. We go to the zoo a lot. We go to the shed. He watches animal videos, loves Wild Kratts on PBS. The amount of animal and dinosaur figurines in our household has probably reached the 1 million mark.
I feel like you have to do like a purge soon.
I feel like it's got to be like a 1 in 5 out kind of a deal because his birthday is coming up and he's going to get more. And he also was very disappointed that the Easter Bunny did not bring toys. And my response was, well, he's not Santa.
I mean, facts.
So he also was a pretty good sleeper. And we transitioned him to his own bed because I was too cheap to pay for 2 cribs.
Right. That's fair. I feel like that was a fair move to do. I did not do that.
Yeah.
I bought a
looking back, we probably would not have this issue if you were still in a crib, but he did
a different issue.
Right.
But yes, go ahead.
So he did okay. And there was one day that I thought it was really cute to show him this video of the penguins from the shed.
Oh, the 2 friends who all of them just walk
there's
around.
Like 2 penguins that during the pandemic, they apparently essentially like roam all of Chicago, and they were roaming the Field Museum by Sue the T-Rex. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is cute. He loves animals. He loves dinosaurs. Let's show him this video.
Blending his 2 worlds together.
Right. And he did enjoy the video. However, that night, in the middle of the night, was this shriek of terror. And as like a mom, you can like tell the difference between their cries and their screams. Like, when it's fake, when they're tired, when something's like very much wrong, right? Like that was the shriek and scream that came from his room that night. And it was because he had a bad dream that 2 penguins joined him in bed.
I mean, they're nice animals.
They are nice animals. He just apparently did not want them joining him in bed. So he now has a fear of penguins.
Yeah.
And since then, and I don't even remember how long ago this was now because this has been going on for so many months, he won't sleep in his own bed.
Yeah. So he sleeps.
So he sleeps in our bed.
Yeah.
In between us. Mm-hmm. I have tried, like people will get like quote unquote monster spray.
Yeah.
I bought some of that stuff and called it. I got a bottle. Yeah. And called it penguin spray. Which he was really excited about. He was really excited about it, sprayed it, tried to sleep in his own bed, lasted 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm
you
not
have to
the
get
best.
him a whole new bed.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm too cheap for that.
Okay,
but my plan is, like thinking back to students I've worked with. Some students just need a lot of prep. I've made bedtime social stories for him before. We might need to do one about penguins. But trying to like start prepping him that he's going to have to start sleeping in his own bed for sure by the time he turns 4 in a couple months.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So wish me luck. But again, I am not the person to ask for help with sleeping issues because it was like just a battle I'm not going to pick because I need my sleep.
I know. But he does sleep though.
He sleeps fabulously in our bed.
Yeah. And you can sleep, right?
Right. Which is why I haven't picked this battle because I'm getting sleep.
I know.
He's getting sleep. No more penguin nightmares.
Have you guys been back to the shed?
No. But we have been back to Lincoln Park Zoo and the zoo has penguins too.
Yeah. But the shed is like downstairs, like up and close. What if you did that? He's definitely not old enough, but that experience at the shed where you
Oh,
can meet the
I
penguins.
would think that that was so cool. I
I
don't know
know
if
he's
he
definitely
will.
not old enough. I think you have to be like 7 or
Well,
8.
he's
I don't know.
also like someone that likes them in pictures or videos or behind the glass at the zoo, but
Right.
petting zoos freak him out. You know, you've been to a petting zoo with him.
I
You've been
don't
more
think
than once. Yes.
Where?
When we do our friend's Door County trip.
Oh, yes. He should love that
He
farm.
is terrified of like animals up close.
It's the cutest farm ever. It's so
Isn't
sweet.
it called like the farm?
I think it is the farm.
Right.
If anyone's like going to Door County this summer and you're wanting an activity to do, and if your kids are not afraid of live animals, it is, I'm looking it up as we speak. Yeah, I mean, it's the farm. It's in Sturgeon Bay,
Yep.
but it's incredible. Like you get to feed
Super cute. You get to
all these
feed the
animals.
goats.
They're out. Goats are out and about. You get to feed baby goats. You can buy a bag of corn.
Feed all the
So fun.
animals.
Yeah. My children love it. Your son, not as much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, where your thing is like you're sleeping, so it's also hard to want to change that.
Right.
Whereas mine, like my husband and I would be like, do we put something on the floor in our room so if she comes in, she can just fall asleep on our floor? But
No,
then I'm
don't
like,
do it.
I don't want to start that.
Yep.
Because then I don't think we will ever finish. So yeah, so we're in this really rough time of like, again, she doesn't want to like get up. You know how people have those clocks that change color?
Oh, we have that. We tried
Yeah,
that
I have
too.
one too. So for those people who don't know, like I think most people do, if you have a toddler, they have these clocks and at a certain, you can like program it at a certain time, it changes color. And that's supposed to be the signal that your kid can get up or leave their room. But that's not really what her issue is. I would say if she was trying to like play and get it up at an unruly hour, maybe, but she just like wants to know that we're like nearby. I also think her brain is on overload, like taking in so much. She's even watching movies that she's seen 100 times, like Frozen or Frozen 2. And you can just tell like certain parts of the movie she's processing differently.
Mm-hmm.
Like Hans, spoiler alert, Hans is the bad guy in Frozen. So I think she's like figuring out like people's motives and stuff like that. Like basically the world is super complex and a 3.5-year-old's brain can't handle it all.
Yeah.
But
oh man.
We'll chat a little about our younger ones. What's been going on with yours? Anything fun, new, cute, difficult?
He's still biting. I got bit twice this past week.
He's still biting. Mine does that too. My oldest did not bite the same way.
Neither did
Where
mine.
if mine at home, he's like a straight up mama's boy. Like if I leave the room, he kind of like throws a little like, mama, like where'd I go? I'm just in the other room. But out in public, if he could, he would like look back and just like either give me deuces or like flip me off and be like, bye, lady. Like does not care to be with me. No.
Mine does not want to leave my side. And it's like, it's not even biting out of anger or anything. It's like pure excitement. And he then just like latches on.
Oh.
Like a vampire.
Oh my. Twice
in the past week.
Jeez.
Once in the back of the thigh because he was like standing up and like grabbed my legs from behind, and like was super excited. And then I was like, oh, that hurt. There was probably a swear that came out of my mouth. That's and fine. Then on the knee.
Oh my gosh. No, mine will mine will try and like bite me if I'm picking him up because to not let him run in the street. So I'm
or like if he's trying to like pull himself up onto the couch and there's a blanket there, he'll like bite to try to like, I don't know if it's like helping himself like pull himself up.
Sure. It's using all
so if your leg's also there, sorry it got in the way. But yeah, I mean, otherwise he's cute, fun.
I know that's like a fun age before they
but yeah, the biting I'm over.
I would be too. I took him to his 1.5 year like checkup
Oh yeah, we've got
And
ours next month.
it went well. I mean, he's like, fine, there's nothing crazy to report. But you know how you have to fill out those questionnaires for their like
I
the development ones?
Well, yes, but I don't ever do them.
Why?
Why? I'm not concerned.
Just to have like progress update. I know I'm not concerned either. And
No, I
I
never
should
did them
say
with the older one, and I have not done them with the younger one either.
that's so funny. You're just like,
Yeah.
don't. If there's an issue, I'll chat with you
If
about it.
there's something I'm concerned about, I will bring it up.
Okay, maybe not the approach for everybody, but yes, for sure.
It's so
But
funny too because I'm
but
like such an anxious person,
yeah.
but
Well,
that's not one of the things I'm anxious about. Or if I was, I would definitely like you'd know
if you
it.
have a concern, yeah, for sure.
You'd know it.
Those questionnaires, I think they're super interesting as well. I think from our perspective as like educators or me with my like speech background, the questions, so the way they're phrased, I know what they're looking for. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like certain ones, like there are some hallmark signs for like autism, or there's certain things for like speech delays, um, or like gross motor stuff. And so I'm with you. Like I wasn't, and I'm not worried about my son's development, but it did make me think. And my pediatrician actually um came back. She went through the whole routine of stuff and everything's good. Check, check, check. And she took the questionnaire that I had. And on there are questions that, I mean, specifically from the speech perspective, where I'm like, he's not even supposed to be doing this until he's 2. Like, why have this on here?
It's
Because
like
then you know how
misleading.
it's super misleading, because then it's like all or yes, no, sometimes, or like I don't like your choices of answering aren't super specific either.
Mhm.
So my pediatrician took it, and then she actually came back in and like had a conversation with me about it, where she showed me the score, and she's like, I can explain this to you because you would do data and like scoring of assessments. And she's like, why would they have this on here? Essentially, it's only going to make parents nervous,
Right. That
and
their kid's not
or
doing it.
yeah, that your kid's not doing it, or lie about where their kid is. And my
Mhm.
pediatrician, kind of like similarly what your approach is like she'd rather have parents like tell them what's going on versus like hiding things or not responding accurately on a
Yeah.
questionnaire. And I was like, again, I'm not super worried because I know what this question's looking for. Like one was like, does your kid do like hand flapping, or like put their hands, like bring things close to their eyes, or do
Mm.
interesting eye movements? And I'm like, no, no, no. Um, but I was like, that is like, come on, questioner world, as if there isn't enough for parents to like
To
have to
worry
worry
about.
about,
Yeah.
or think that you're asking me these questions because my kid should be doing them.
Mhm.
But it was just an interesting, like, oh, what a tough gig this parenting business is.
It really is.
But and with that, I think we should do a little, like think ahead that Mother's Day is coming up.
Yes.
Do you have any plans yet for Mother's Day or no?
None.
I know, me neither. So maybe we should plan
Yeah.
something. Uh, it's like one of those where it feels so far in the distance, but it's actually
It's
not.
actually not.
No.
It's what, like 2 weeks away, 3 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks, I think. Um, so yeah, we're gonna put together like a little gift guide of stuff that like you and I were gonna brainstorm some ideas that if we were to receive something or do something for Mother's Day, like these would be some of our hints to people.
Hint, hint, like some time away
Yeah.
from our lovely children.
You want to go golfing?
No, but I'll go get massages. I could
I
really
was
use
just
one.
saying, an activity that takes 4 to 6 hours
A day at the spa.
for sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, we also have, we're going out of town soon on a trip. And
Are you
so this
ready?
past week, ish, I'm ready ish. I started packing because my fear was that I would wait until the last minute. But again, I have like multiple checklists going, different color coding systems, packing
Yep.
cubes. And so my floor is like in my bedroom is all like piles of clothes. We should do for Mother's Day is go shopping, because I pretty much tried on all my clothes for spring and summer. And I like 3 things. So we should go shopping.
I'm in.
But anyway, we're also going to do a episode coming up soon of like traveling with kids, because you just did a really big international trip. Ours is still a trip, but not as big. But we're gonna take some like helpful hints of what got us through, what we enjoyed, what went well, what didn't.
Well, and we've both traveled with our kids for quite some time. Like my oldest, his first trip was to Italy at 9 months. Was definitely something that was like important to us to like still be able to do from our pre-kid days. It's definitely more challenging now with kids, but
For sure.
so yeah, we thought it might be helpful to kind of just share some of the tips and tricks that we've learned through the process.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah, we hope people have just a really good rest of the week, and we appreciate you listening. Hope you enjoyed our little update of what we got going on with our kids.
thanks. Thanks so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all of the latest, you can follow us on Instagram @_and then we had kids. Thanks again, and like we say, life used to be carefree, and then we had kids.